like another beautiful day in Richmond. The sun is shining and the birds are singing. So make sure you get out there today and say hi to your neighbor.
May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in your being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead from the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get to rest, may you catch your breath. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa! May the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh. Well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here and I'm so excited that you all made it back. Hi, Missy, Neha, Emma, Anna, Cat House, Sophie Cat House. I don't know your name, but I think you were here yesterday as well. Mona, you're new. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tim, welcome back. And Zoom user, I know you were here yesterday, but I don't know who you are. So I'm just happy that you're here and more people are joining. Chelsea, woohoo! Oh my goodness. Wendy was here yesterday as well. So I'm so excited to see everyone back. So we're in for a treat today. This afternoon, I was reading my notes for the presentation and I'm like, oh my God, it's just, I get so passionate and excited about this subject because I know that all these things, everything that I'm talking about in these 3 days are the things that I've put in practice in my life and have changed tremendously, not only the person that I am, but everything in my life. So I am very, very happy to share all this with you today. And I am going to start sharing my presentation right now. This is where technology always hits me, but I got it. There we go. So I am going to start doing a quick recap of what we talked about yesterday, and then I'm going to get into today's subject. I know that yesterday we talked a lot about your energetic signature and your relationship with money. So today I'm going to be expanding on that. And tomorrow I am actually going to be talking about what everyone wants to hear, the practicality of it. So we're talking about beautiful things here, universal laws, your relationship with money, your energetic signature, but what the fuck does that mean, right? It's like, how do I put it in practice into my life? And it doesn't have to be difficult. It just takes, guess what? Awareness, as I was saying yesterday. So quick summary about day one. We talked about the best way to predict the future is to create it. And I realized that I had that quote in my slides, but I didn't actually speak about it. What I meant by that is when you know who you are, when you know your blueprint, your identity, your personality, and you identify who you want to be, in other words, where you want to go, you can actually start creating the path there and you're going to be creating the future. That's when we were talking about going to California, right? A lot of us were going south, west, north. Some of us were already in California. Some of us were actually in LA. So it's just identifying where is it that we want to go to and where are we so that we can actually carve the path to go there. We talked about your intimate and personal relationship with money. That's where all of you grabbed your worksheet and jotted down everything. There were a lot of very vulnerable and personal shares in the chat. And I really appreciate that because I understand. I mean, we all have so many shitty beliefs that we grew up with. We have so many preconceived ideas of the way that money behaves, the way that we should behave with money, and the way that we actually become a little bit of like a victim, if you will, to the way society perceives money and the way that it relates to us. We talked about getting clear about where you are. I already mentioned that. One of my favorite quotes: how you think, feel, and behave about money determines how it flows to you. And that was a beautiful conversation, remembering that we have the power by practicing awareness to change the way we're thinking, therefore the way that we're reacting in the way that we're behaving. Awareness, awareness, awareness. We talked about why change may be hard, and that's when we talked about the addictions of the body, the addictions of the mind. So the addictions of the body, remember that that's all the chemical addictions that your brain is producing to feed your body, and your body gets addicted to it because you are repeating the same patterns of thought constantly, so you're feeding your body the same chemicals. Addiction of the mind is the addiction that you have to the thoughts that you've been practicing for years and years and years. And we also rewrote the rules of our money paradigm, our money story. So today I'm going to be walking you through something that I came up with. I don't believe it's new because I cannot imagine that I am the first person that thinks about that. However, I have never heard anyone explaining it the way that I've explained it to myself and to my clients. And I came up, I'm gonna just switch slides so that you can see it. I came up with this from my own, I actually started thinking about this when I started my business. I had never ever thought about this before, but when I started my business, it's like, I remember having one coach, I'm actually still with that coach. Her name is M. Hollis, and M was telling me, having a business is like having your own spiritual awakening. And I'm like, holy shit, she's so right, because that's exactly how I felt. I felt confused, lost, knowing that I had this tremendous passion that I wanted to bring to the world, but the business side of it was confusing. I didn't know where to go. Everyone tells you what to do, and you don't know which way to go. You don't know how to listen to your intuition because it's so buried down there in the midst of what everyone else is saying that you actually have quieted that voice. So what occurred to me one night as I was lying in my bed doing my meditation is, this is a cycle that I keep repeating over and over and over. And I started getting these downloads. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you've heard a lot of coaches and a lot of spiritual people talk about downloads. It's just a bullshit word to say that it's just creative thought, right? It's just like, it comes from spirit, it comes from your intuition, it comes from your mind sometimes. It's just another way to say you had a creative thought that hit your heart in a different way. That's all it is. So I started to have this download about, this is what's happening with you. And I started to have this conversation with myself to understand how it was. And I started to write it down thinking, this is absolutely amazing. And I used it for myself for the longest time, trying to unravel my own patterns. And then one day I decided to share it with my clients and they all loved it. And that's why I'm sharing it with you. So this is what it is. The creative cycle. So there are 4 steps to it, and it's a cycle. So the cycle keeps repeating itself. So just think about these, the creative cycle. Think about it from any viewpoint that you want. It could be about your business. So you have a new business. All of us here have a new business. It could be about a new hobby. It could be about a new venture. It could be about a new job. Anything new that you haven't done in the past and that you're starting. So any new venture that you're getting into, this is where the creative cycle starts, right? So 4 steps to it. And I'm going to go through each one of them. And I want you to comment in the chat, and I want you to bring an idea to your mind. So let's just all think about either your business or a hobby that you've started or are about to start. And I want to not just go to the business route, because that could be triggering for some people. But if that's the example that you want to go to, I invite you to embrace it and go with it. So as I am explaining the phases of the cycle, I want you to start thinking if this resonates with you or not. And there's the worksheet that we're going to take out in a minute, and we're going to go and journal a little bit about it, but that's going to happen in a second. So first I'm going to explain the cycle. So the first step of the cycle is you have an exciting idea. So your business, or you are 7 years old and you are learning to ride a bike for the first time. Let's just go with those two parallel examples. So you feel excited about it, right? Oh my God, I'm gonna learn how to ride a bike. I've seen all the kids riding their bikes and I can't wait to start riding my bike. This is so exciting. And then there's the adult you thinking, oh my God, I am so good at teaching yoga. I'm gonna start my yoga business. This is so exciting. All the lives that I'm going to change, all the impact that I'm going to have on people. This is going to be amazing. So excitement, passion, acceleration. The second step, you take action on that idea, right? So 7-year-old me gets that bike and I start riding that bike and I just feel so good because it's just like, I'm just learning how to take the handles. I'm just learning how to move my feet, the pedals, where are they? Oh my God, bumping the road, la da da, the excitement, right? It's the same thing with the business. It's like, oh my God, let me start announcing it to the world, letting all my friends know that I'm going to be doing yoga classes. This is amazing. People are going to love me. And you feel that sense of fulfillment, purpose, and satisfaction, right? Like you feel that this is what you're meant to be doing. You feel that this is your soul coming into the agreement that you made with it before you were born. So what happens next is you come up against the old self. So remember what we were talking about yesterday, that you have these addictions of the body and the addictions of the mind, right? So this is where everything starts to kick in and you come up against it. So you start thinking, but what if I can't ride that bike? But what if this is a very, very common one. I'm too stupid to learn how to ride a bike. Of course, it's going to work for all the kids, but it's not going to work for me. Oh my God, I don't have the body coordination and balance that is needed to ride this bike. I don't know if I can do it. And in the business side, it's like, who's going to want to buy from me? But I'm terrible at marketing, but I'm so scared to be visible, but I'm, and you come up against all those insecurities, doubts, and fears that are going to try to stop you from doing what you're doing. So step 3 is life, letting you know the thoughts that are in between you and the thing that you want. And I'm going to come back to that in a second after I go through step 4. So let me know if this is something that resonates with you, because for me, when I started writing it down, I'm like, oh my God, this is what's happening every time that I start something new. It's like, I start with that excitement and then something stops me and then I go back to before. Like I don't do anything. I don't move forward. I don't go ahead with the idea. I crawl back in my cave and I'm like, I don't want the world to see me. I'm too scared, yada, yada. And I do nothing about it. But if you're able to overcome those emotions that are coming up in step 3, you actually get to step 4. And that's where you overcome the old self, you overcome the addictions of the body, you overcome the addictions of the mind, you overcome the chatter, and you get into the new. You get to birth the new person that you're becoming, and that's reflected in the growth that you're having, the empowerment and the possibilities. So I want to just go back to step 3 for 1 second and just say that this is where growth happens. So step 3 is the most precious gift that we have. And we take it for granted because we see it as a bad thing. We see it as, oh my God, I can never do anything. Oh my God, I'm just so incapable. I'm not talented enough. I'm not good enough. I don't know how to market myself. I don't know how to do this. And we go into all these rants in our mind that stops us from what we're doing. But if we learn to see it for what it is, amazing possibilities open up for us. And what it is basically life telling you, oh, you want a new business. Oh my God, let me show you all the areas in which you need to grow so that you can see your baby new business fulfilled. And why does it hurt like hell? Because life wants you to pay attention to that. So what a lot of us do is like we go back into the cocoon and do nothing, or we panic and go into action. I have to post more, I have to show more, I have to email more, I have to do more, do. When in reality, what you need to do is hold the space for everything that you are and everything that you have been, that life is showing you at this moment. Be able to nurture it, to heal it, to nourish it, and then move on to step 4. So it is the most precious gift that we can ever receive. But most of us don't know what to do with it. So what I'm going to invite you to do right now is take out your worksheet. And if you don't have it, Jackie, could you please post the link in the chat? I think all of us should have received my email, and if you didn't, just let me know, and I'll make sure that everyone is on my list and you're getting the reminders. But worksheet for day 2 should have been emailed to you a few hours ago. So I am going to stop sharing right now, so I can see your beautiful faces. Okay, Zoom user, I don't know your name, but you said that your connection is very poor. So you're going to get the replay anyway. So just make sure that you can listen to the whole thing right there. So take out your worksheet and you're going to, let me just look at my own worksheet so that I know what I'm talking about. So in worksheet, I want you to take a look at the creative cycle, and I want you to take a couple minutes to go through the steps of the creative cycle. So you can bring about anything that you want. It could be, again, a hobby that you're starting or something new that you're about to embark on, or you can think about your business and go through the steps of the creative cycle and start jotting down how you feel. So you have an exciting idea. How are you feeling about it? What are you passionate about? What is this bringing up for you? Step 2 is you're taking action on it. So how does that feel? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel that you can be service to your clients? Do you feel that you're using all your talents in this business? And step 3 is you're coming up against yourself. So if you've been there, I want you to lay it all out here. What has that looked like for you? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it insecurity? Is it other people telling you that you can't do A, B, or C? What is it? Because sometimes the step 3 comes in the way of other people telling us what to do. They don't agree, they disapprove, we're just crazy for doing that. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go through the worksheet. And if you want to share in the chat, by all means, go right ahead. Okay. How was that? Chelsea, I see you nodding. Mona, you're smiling, but you're always smiling. All right, so how did that feel? Does anyone want to share? I'm not going to pressure anyone, but you have the chat, so you can share in the chat if you feel like it. If not, I'm just going to keep going. All right. Let me share again. Okay, so the creative cycle was something that, as I said earlier, it opened my eyes to what was going on. And it was actually a beautiful way to remind myself that we live in a world of duality, right? So we have the ups and downs, and we tend to see the things that feel good, the ups, as life is great, everything's amazing. I don't have to do anything about life. It is just perfect the way it is. And we tend to live in the moment when we're riding those highs, right? But when the lows come, that's when the I can't say that word. The self-diminishing thoughts come to mind, right? And we start thinking about how we're not good enough, how we're missing something, how we need healing, we need fixing, we need to do something. We're not doing the right thing. And that's when we try to correct course by action. But when we learn to see those moments as, this is my gift, this is how I actually can correct course in the best way, because life is offering to me this awesome opportunity to realize, oh, this is what's going on. Let me change my perspective on that. Let me change the way I think about that. Let me change the way I react to that, that I can actually move on and keep enjoying my life, rather than trying to avoid the feelings and run away from them and not do anything about it, and just like shove them down. I need to feel good, because correct me if I'm wrong, that's what a lot of us conscious creators do, right? Like all of us spiritual people are like, I gotta feel good. If I'm not feeling good, then I'm not creating something good. If I'm not in bliss, in joy, in happiness, then I am not creating what I want, right? A lot of us do that, but in reality, it's a cycle. It's going to keep repeating itself. What we can do is to learn how to navigate those emotions and those quote unquote lows. So number 3 is actually when your power is. That's where the growth happens. This is when you're actually coming up against the old self and the old emotions. And when you exercise awareness, this is when you actually exercise your power of choice. Because when you become aware of what you're thinking, when you become aware that you're in step 3, you're like, okay, what am I going to do about this right now? How am I going to show love to myself so that I can change this situation and actually move forward? So this is where your challenge is to become greater than your environment. And when I say environment, I mean the addictions of the body and the addictions of the mind, because that is the environment that you live in. So it is in this moment that you get to shape up the new personality that you're creating. It is in this moment that you get to create the next level version of you. Let me know if that makes sense, because for me, this was a huge eye opener when I started my business, and this shifted everything about how I was behaving in my own business, and not only in that, but in my regular life. So what I'm going to walk you through right now is the personal thermostat. So the personal thermostat is what's happening in the background of the creative cycle. So we all have a baseline, right? And I love the example of the thermostat because it is just like the most brilliantly and simply explained of the background of this thermostat, right? So just as any regular house thermostat, what it does is it had a set temperature, right? It keeps your house at whatever temperature you want it to be. I work in Celsius, so I know a lot of you will work in Fahrenheit, but I try to keep my house at 23 degrees. And it doesn't matter what's going on outside. So it might be raining, colder, snowing, hotter, whatever that is, my thermostat is going to do what it's meant to be doing, and it's keeping me back, keeping my house at the temperature that I set it at, right? So the temperature that your internal thermostat is set at is your baseline. And what I mean by that is, think of the addictions that you have in your body, right? So the emotions of frustration, of fear, of disappointment, of doubt in yourself, or like that sense of frustration in your relationship, or whatever it is that you've been practicing for years and years and years, that's going to determine your baseline. In other words, the emotions that you've practiced that keep contributing to the chemicals that your brain is producing to feed your body. So that is your baseline. So when you are able to identify what your baseline is, so that is when I'm talking about getting to know yourself very intimately. You get to understand who you are. You get to understand your current personality that is creating your reality. So there's also amazing parts of your personality that need to be celebrated. It's not just about the frustrations and the negative emotions that you have. It's also about the joy and the happiness and the gratitude that you feel. It's all this makeup that creates your personal thermostat. The thing is, your personal thermostat is always going to try and get you back to the set temperature. And remember when we were talking about the change yesterday and how hard it was to change, because you want to set a new habit, like remembering the example that I gave you about brushing my teeth with the left hand is like I kept forgetting because I was, in other words, addicted to brushing my teeth with my right hand. So every time that I try to turn to the left one, it's like it felt weird, it felt awkward, it didn't feel natural, it felt like I was forcing it, it just felt like, oh, I don't know how to do this, da-da-da. That is my thermostat trying to get me back to where I was. It is that baseline saying, no, you're feeling too happy, step 2. You're feeling too excited about this new idea, step 2. You're feeling too exhilarated and joyful about this new business, step 2. Get back to step 3, and step 3 goes, ooh, let me get you back to your set temperature. Let me get you back to your baseline, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to remind you that this is where you belong. So your job as a conscious creator is to keep the practice of deepening your awareness so that you can gradually get your thermostat higher and higher and higher. And that's where the work is, really. That's where the work is, because saying that you're going to change is easy, but actually going through that practice of overcoming yourself and hitting yourself against the old self, it is extremely challenging. And the difference between those people who are successful and are able to thrive in their business and those who don't is what they know how to do or what to do in step 3. So we're going to be talking about that more today, and I'm going to go deeper into that tomorrow. So yesterday we talked about clarity, right? And we talked about all of our beliefs about money. We wrote them down. We talked about them. A lot of you shared in the chat the upbringing that you had, the behaviors that you learned from your parents and all that stuff, right? So that helps you get clear as to where you are. And then you rewrote the rules of the game. You wanted to feel nourished by money. You wanted to feel the abundance in your life. You wanted to feel the flow of clients in your business. You wanted all of those things, right? But what happens too is that as spiritual creators that we are, we tend to get caught up in this loop of the universe likes clarity. And the universe is testing me, and the universe is going to give me everything that I want, and the universe and the universe and the universe, when in reality, the universe is responding to you. The universe is not saying, ooh, you want to be worthy, eh? Let me give you everything that you want. Ooh, you don't like that, eh? Let me test you and see how you respond to that. Bullshit. The universe is not testing you. The universe is responding to the frequency and your energetic signature that you're constantly emitting. And that is something that really, really changed the game for me, because I was just like giving all my power away to these universal forces that people kept talking about, and just trusting that the universe got my back, when in reality, the universe is responding to me having my back. So it is backwards. I have to start with believing in myself. I have to start with changing my thermostat. I have to start with honoring and acknowledging and accepting and loving my step 3 self, so that the universe can get a better signal and respond to that new signal that I am emitting. So the process of creating abundance is a very, very personal journey. We all start at different stages. No one has a unique, everyone has a unique journey. No one has the same journey as the neighbor or as your best friend or as anyone else. And it is an act of radical responsibility. And having radical responsibility is only going to be achieved by having that awareness of who you are being at every moment of your journey, and being able to actually widen that awareness so that you can have a different response to the stimuli that you're getting from life. The stimuli that you're getting from life is just a reflection of the past energetic signature that you've been launching out there. So that is your feedback. That is step 3, life telling you, ooh, look at all these things. You want more money? Oh my goodness, let me show you all the crap that you've been contemplating all your life, so that you can actually move through it and move forward, clean up your energetic signature so that I can get you more. So it is with your energetic signature that you know that you're moving forward in your journey. It is not with the action. It is not with the meditations. The meditations are fantastic to get your mind clear. But if you're not doing the work for the rest of the 23 hours that you're not in meditation, your meditation is not going to get you far. So you need to clean up your energy. You need to start being very, very squeaky clean about the signal that you're emitting, so that the universe can actually give you what you want, not the other way around. So I'm just going to go to the chat because I see a couple comments in there. Oh, that's Jackie. Okay, perfect. Very good, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so now the big question becomes, are you creating momentum towards what you want? Or are you creating momentum towards what you don't want? And I want to have this question here because a lot of us think that because we're meditating and because we're doing the affirmations and because we're, getting in touch with ourselves and all those things that are wonderful to get you more grounded and more connected, we think that we're building momentum, but we don't take the time to understand what our energetic signature is. So we're going to be talking about that today. And after today, you're going to have a very clear path of how to assess your energy at any moment in time. And one thing that I want to say here before I move on to that slide is that one of the things that I do to keep my energetic signature in check is that I use technology to my favor. This little device that we're all super addicted to, like our phones that we keep, we cherish them more than we take care of our children. This is the thing that has helped me the most. So one thing that I do is I have reminders in my calendar, in my app, my calendar app. The reminders come about 3 or 4 times a day. And I just have a big stop, like capital letters, stop. One comes up at 9:30, 12:30, and 4 p.m., I believe. And they just say stop. To me, that's a reminder to stop what I'm doing and check where I am in terms of my energetic signature. And I check in that. And sometimes what I do is I take it a little bit a step further, and I put my timer for 5 minutes and just get into a deep state of gratitude, just to make sure that I am aligning with the things that I want. And tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So right now, what I would love for you to do is to follow me in this exercise. I'm going to explain what it is, and then I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to have music for a couple of minutes, and we're going to get into that exercise with our eyes closed. So I want you to think about these 3 things. How do you feel about your business? How do you feel about your clients? And how do you feel about yourself? So when I say yourself, I mean your own abilities, your talents, what you bring to the table, what you know that you're capable of, and what you help your clients with. So all the beliefs, your emotional state of being, how you perceive all these areas, right? So how do you feel about your business? So regardless of how passionate you are, is it hard? Do you feel that it's hard? Is it easy? Does it flow? Are you passionate about your business, or are you passionate about the idea of your business? For clients, do you feel that you have to convince them to work with you rather than inviting them to work with you? Do you feel empowered that you're the right fit to help them? Do you see them as a dollar sign? And this is a huge one for entrepreneurs, because most of us tend to confuse a client with dollar sign. And a lot of times we don't celebrate a client, we celebrate the money that came with the client. But a client is a source of fulfillment. A client is a source of growth. A client is an avenue for us to have more impact in the world. And money is just a neutral resource. So sometimes we get stressed about having clients because clients represent money. But when we open to the flow of money, money can come in so many different ways, and it's going to be very liberating for how you conduct your business, because clients will become clients, not money, and money can flow in so many different avenues. In your own abilities, do you feel talented enough to be doing what you're doing? Do you have imposter syndrome? Like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I can do this. I'm kind of like bullshitting everybody. I don't know if they believe me, because I don't even believe myself. Can I really do this? Do you know the problem that you're solving for your clients? Are you clear in how you're solving that problem? And do you think your clients are clear in how you solve that problem? So all of these are attributes of the energetic signature that you're bringing into your business. And when you get very clear about what your current signature is, it is so much easier to start shifting it, because now you know. And this is when we were talking about developing this awareness of self. We get to know where we are so that we actually clean that up and move towards where we're going. So I'm going to stop sharing. So I'm going to ask you to take a couple of minutes and go through those things, to those items. And one thing that I'm going to ask you to do is to go over this exercise tonight and continue to do it, because this is going to bring you a lot of clarity about who you are. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes, and I'm just going to give you a cue to change from business, then clients, and then yourself. So start with business right now, and in about a minute or so, we're going to move to clients. Okay, guys, we can move to clients now. So start thinking about how you view your clients. Are you approaching them with a convincing energy rather than, I am the person who can help you solve your problem? Are clients hard to get? Are they just a symbol of money or a source of fulfillment? Okay, and so now let's move to your own abilities and talents. So how do you feel about you being this business owner? Is there doubt about what you bring to the table? Are there insecurities telling you that you're not good enough to do what you're doing? Are you empowered to be that person that can help solve a problem for your clients? All right. So I am really going to encourage you to go through this exercise as many times as you want to, because there's always going to be a new layer that comes up. There's always going to be a new revelation that comes to you. I mean, this is what the practice of awareness is, right? Sometimes you think that you've got it all together, but as you start kind of like peeling the layers of the onion, more is going to come up, and you're going to be more equipped to actually figure out that energetic signature that you're bringing to light. Let me know if this makes sense, and let me know how that exercise went. You can post it in the chat, or you can email me. I think everyone has my email, and let me know how it went. I actually got a lot of emails yesterday with a lot of the shares that we were talking about in day one. So I really appreciate that you guys are actually vulnerable enough to come up against yourself and bring those things to the light. Because as a coach of mine once told me, if you don't see the weeds, how are you going to pluck them, right? So this is actually something that really, really helps in your process. And sometimes it hurts like fucking hell, right? When you're in the midst of that step 3 and all those frustrations, and you're like, what am I doing? But that's what's needed. That's what's required. And when we are actually able to see beyond the duality of that good or bad, and we just see it as a precious gift that is telling you how to move forward, we're going to change the perspective that we have on everything on step 3, and life is going to become easier, not less painful, but easier. And I'm going to give you an example in a minute. Let me start sharing again before I forget. So I want to share with you, because this came to my awareness yesterday. And I didn't share yesterday because it didn't fit in the subject that we were talking about yesterday. But something that I noticed is that I was more nervous than usual before the workshop, right? I mean, doing public speaking and presentations is something that I've done for years and years and years. And I feel quite comfortable in front of an audience. I mean, I know I have an accent. I know I trip on my words. I know that sometimes I forget what I'm saying, but I'm confident enough because I've done it several times. But yesterday I was more nervous than usual. And I actually talked to Jackie and I said, I'm nervous and I don't understand why. But what I did was I was able to get quiet with myself. I closed my eyes for a while and I was able to tap into that energy of like that step 3 energy, right? It's like, I feel this nervousness, I feel this anxiety, I feel this uneasiness. What if something goes wrong? What if I forget my stuff? What if all those things, right? And I was able to observe like awareness. Remember when I told you guys yesterday that awareness is just that part of you that is able to observe that other part of you. So I became very aware of those emotions and I was able to actually nurture them with love. And what that means is just I am accepting them. I am not, I have to feel good. I have to feel good before my workshop. I have to meditate and feel better. I have to da, da, da. None of that. Is just the accepting that that is part of my human nature. That is part of my life, showing me that there's something that requires my attention at that moment. And it's not just like shoving it down and disapproving it and avoiding it and trying not to feel it and da, 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 all those things. All the opposite. I brought those emotions to my attention and I sat with them without judgment, without, oh my God, here I go again with this nervousness, this anxiety, this has played out all my life. Oh my God, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, none of that. It was that space in which I could feel that my body had the nervousness and the sort of anxiety, but I, the consciousness that is observing that, was at peace with that. And that was a very bizarre feeling, but it's just a quick example that I wanted to give you about what awareness can do. So when I came to the workshop, I felt completely at peace, even though my body was still struggling with some of those emotions. So that's what I mean when I say you're not gonna get rid of the pain, because it's not about getting rid of the pain. It's about knowing how to manage the emotions and gracefully move through them, knowing that they're a part of you. And because there's a cycle, you know that you're going to feel better eventually. It's not trying to feel better all the time. Will the cycle get easier and you probably have less step 3 moments? For fucking sure. But until you learn how to deal with those moments, you're not going to get there. So it's a matter of practice, practice, practice. So let me get back to this. That example came to my mind and I thought I have to share. I usually just follow my intuition and that just came and I thought I have to share that. So now you've gone through a very simple exercise of knowing what your energetic signature is. And honestly, there's nothing more to that. It's just becoming aware. It's just having like a little self-scan to see where you are. And if you start setting your alarms in your phone, that's all you do. And you don't have to do it for 10, 15 minutes. You can do it in 30 seconds. It's like, how am I feeling right now? Do I believe in my dreams? Do I believe that I'm capable? Okay, good, I'm good. Oh, I don't. Okay, thank you. Let me work on that. And you don't have to work on it right now, but you're creating that awareness, and that awareness creates the space for you to choose different. So that's a fantastic, very simple exercise. And I'm going to give you way more things to practice tomorrow. But for now, we're going to leave it at that. So when it comes to business and wealth, your energetic signature is the one that is leading, not the action. The action is a byproduct of a squeaky clean energy. So one question that I always ask myself, and I ask my clients to ask themselves, do you make business decisions out of fear? Or do you make business decisions out of joy? Remember the example of saving yesterday, right? It's like my family member. They save out of fear of the future. I don't know, they don't have kids, so it's like, who's going to take care of me in the future? What if I end up disabled? What if I don't have a place to live? I gotta save, I gotta save, I gotta save. Meanwhile, my husband and I are like, oh my God, let's save so that we can travel more. Let's save so that we can see the world. Let's save that we're more free, yada, yada. It's a completely different energy, same action. So the big question is, do you make business decisions out of fear or out of joy? And you will only know when you get so intimately acquainted with your energetic signature that it's going to become very clear to you from what place you're acting. So think of a day in the life, right? And how many times you're either thinking about money or reacting to money. So a bill came. How do you feel about that? You got to go get groceries and prices are higher. How do you feel about that? If you're thinking constantly about what's not working in your business, how do you feel about that? Are you repeating patterns of thought constantly? How do you feel about that? So scan your day at the end of it and say, what did I spend my energy on? Did I spend my energy thinking about gas prices, inflation, food prices, or did I spend my day cleaning up my energy and thinking about how great my life is going and appreciating the things that go well? And we'll go more about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But I'm not drunk. I swear to God, there's no vodka in here. Anyway, so embodying a new energetic signature requires practice. It's not something that is going to happen overnight because you created your personality, the foundation of it in the first 7 years of your life, but it got solidified until you turned 35. So you've been practicing a very specific energetic signature for decades and decades and decades of your life. So changing it just requires patience, radical responsibility, practice, and love. So just like rollerblading, just like riding a bike, just like a random woman learning to brush her teeth with her left hand, it's just practice. So when you hear people saying that a habit takes 21 days to solidify, I'm gonna call bullshit on that because it took way more than that to learn to brush my teeth with the left hand. You create the idea of the habit in 21 days, but you have to keep exercising that muscle to become better and better and better, right? So it is all about consistency and focus. So the consistency is just to keep doing it. If you're having a hard time doing it, use your technology, set your alarm. I think there was someone in the chat that said that they use a gratitude app. Fantastic. Use your phone for something good other than Facebook and Instagram. Your phone, I mean, I use it all. I have all my meditations in my phone. I have all my reminders in my phone. I mean, if it's something that someone told me that the average time that we look at our phones is 2,600 times a day. That's insane. So if we're going to be looking at our phones, let's just use them as a tool for growth. So it just requires that practice that if you're not getting into it, use what you have available to you, because I guarantee it's going to change your life. If you stick to a habit for at least 90 days, it's going to start creating new neural pathways in your brain, and it's going to change your life tremendously. And that is the work that is required to work through step 3, focus and consistency. The focus start realizing where it is that you want to go, and that's your end goal. The consistency you gain in the practice of doing it day in and day out, day in and day out. And one day you'll forget to brush your teeth with the left hand, but the next day you get back at it. The one night you came home with a little more drinks in your head than usual and you forget to brush your teeth with the left hand, you get back at it the next day. It's just deciding that you're going to be the embodiment of that new version, even if you fall off the wagon. Okay, so what I want to do right now is introduce you to something that I am opening again, and I'm very excited about. And it is my master heart. So my master heart is a place that I open up. It's a space, a beautiful container that I opened for most of the year last year. And the transformations that happened within this container were amazing and nothing short of miraculous. I loved it. I had this master heart open for, I want to say about 8 months. And what it is a place for like-minded individuals and like-hearted individuals to help each other with our growth. So I am there mentoring everyone. Most of the people that I work with are new entrepreneurs, because that's when my biggest breakthroughs happen, when I started going through step 3 moments of like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? Holy shit, what did I get myself into? I have no idea what to do. And I thought, if this is happening to me, it's gotta be happening for a lot of new entrepreneurs that were hitting those walls, right? So it's a space where you're gonna get together with a group of powerful beings, and the energy shifts that are happening in there are amazing. It is a space to practice your new energetic signature, where I'm going to be your accountability partner. I'm going to help you steer in the right direction, and I am going to hone in on all the skills that have helped me get to where I am in the most practical and easy way that you can possibly imagine, because these changes don't have to be difficult. They just need 2 things: focus and consistency. That's it. when you do the awareness work to realize where you are and where you want to be, and you focus on your end result and you apply the consistency that is needed, you're going to make amazing strides, not only in your business, but in your personal life. So I am very ready to open this group again, but I have to tell you, I only want to work with people who are ready for this. I don't usually take anyone on this container because the work that we do here is transformational. It's life-changing, but it is not for everybody. It is not for the person that goes, well, I forgot to brush my teeth with the left hand today, so I'm just going to stop there. Oh my God, I hurt my gums when I was doing this toothbrush thing. I'm just going to stop right there. Oh, I forgot to meditate, so I'm just going to stop right there. That is not the kind of person that I want to work with. So I've had a lot of people who have applied to the Master Heart and just tell me that, nothing works for them. They don't know how to move in life, and they are stuck in a victim loop. That is not the type of person that I want to work with. I want to work with the person who is empowered, takes radical responsibility, and is ready to take things to the next level. I want to work with people who are ready for it and are ready to do whatever it takes to change their mindset and make this work for them. Because believe me, if it worked for me, the woman who came to Canada with $400 in my pocket, it can work for anybody. So what I'm going to do right now is Jackie's going to put my calendar link in the chat. And if you feel that what you've heard in these 2 days has resonated with you, I would love to talk with you to see if this is something that can work for you. I want to make sure that this is the right fit for you. And if none of the stuff that I've said in the last 2 days have resonated with you, by all means, don't do it. No hard feelings. I'm still in my ultimate joy and passion talking about these things because this is a subject that is very, very close to my heart, and I can talk about it forever and ever and ever. So Jackie, could you please put it is right there. Okay, if someone can just click on it and let me know that it works, I would really appreciate that. And one thing that I do have to say is that if you are ready to book an appointment, just make sure that it's in the next few days, because I'm actually going on vacation again the week of my birthday, the week of July 5th. I'm going to be away. So I only have a few more days that I'm available, and then it will have to be after that, like the week of July 11th, because I love traveling, so I have another trip planned, but I would love to have a conversation with you and see if we are a right fit to work together. And one of the things that I love about doing workshops like this is that you get to know my style. You get to know that I am a no bullshit person. I'm going to tell things to you like they are. I'm going to tell things to you like I see them. And one of the things that I love about the work that I do is that we find the practice that works for you. I am going to teach you absolutely everything that is worked for me, but it is up to you to modify it to something that works for you. And I'm going to help you with that, because there's no cookie cutter solution, right? There are going to be many different things that work for people. There are going to be many different approaches that work for somebody else. So I'd be very honored and happy to have you in my container if you feel that this is something that can work for both of us. And what I went too far. So what I want to close this with is this slide. Do you remember this from yesterday when we were rewriting the rules and changing the story, and you all took the time to decide how things are going to be moving forward? Yeah, that slide. This is where you decide what type of energy you'll get to embody. So the work for you from now on is to decide who you want to be. And that will determine what energy you will embody so that you can lead with that energy, because you are always leading with your energy. What might be happening is that you're not aware of what type of energy that is, but now you know. So you have to be mindful of the energy that you're leading with so that you can actually reach that place where things are going to start to manifest for you very quickly and very easily. So what we're going to do tomorrow, and tomorrow is, I actually love every day of my workshops, but tomorrow is my favorite one because I am going to show you the simplicity of this practice. I am going to show you that this does not have to be complicated. This does not have to take years. This does not have to require to be a monk and meditate. This is just little things that you can apply in your day to start shifting in the direction that you want. And you're going to be blown away by how freaking simple it is. And you're actually going to say, is she for real? This is it? Because it's just little things like the app in your phone, the reminder on your phone. So I am very excited about tomorrow. And if no one has, oh, the link works. Thank you, Cat House. And I love your nickname. Mona says, I love you, Isa, and thank you so much for today. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Lisa says, thank you so much for the class. I am very honored to be here with you all. I hope to see you all tomorrow. And if no one has any questions, I'm going to let you go and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.